The year is 1500 BCE, the beginning of what is the most delicious substance on Earth, which is what you ask? Chocolate, of course. If you're a connoisseur of American chocolate, your answer is probably far more specific. Your answer is probably chocolate from Ghirardelli, and that's a relatable answer for millions of chocolate lovers. For over 170 years, Ghirardelli has been the golden standard of American chocolate. The company was founded in 1852, long before Hershey's and Nestle, and it's still sweetening the lives of millions worldwide to this day. This detail alone makes Ghirardelli one of the oldest and most iconic chocolate brands in the world. But it's not just about history or prestige. People love Ghirardelli because their chocolates have always been delicious. In a world of mass-produced, low-quality chocolates, Ghirardelli's commitment to using premium-grade ingredients and traditional hands-on methods has made all the difference. Many of these methods were pioneered by a visionary chocolatier, Domenico Ghirardelli, the man who laid the foundation for this iconic brand. The combination of his vision and the company's steadfast commitment to quality has set Ghirardelli apart from most chocolate brands in history. Today, Ghirardelli is a powerhouse in the global chocolate industry with outlets spanning the globe, but the journey to the top hasn't always been sweet for the founder or the brand. In this video, we'll take a delicious journey back in time to explore the humble beginnings of the iconic Ghirardelli brand. From its rise to prominence to its enduring and slightly controversial legacy in the ever-competitive world of chocolate, we'll cover every little detail. So activate your taste buds because we're about to dive into the deliciously chocolatey world of Ghirardelli. The humble origins of Ghirardelli. When you think of Ghirardelli, you probably think of Ghirardelli Square, the famous landmark in San Francisco. This square was once the chocolate company's main manufacturing hub, but Ghirardelli's origin story begins far away from San Francisco in the small town of Rapallo, Italy. Domenico Ghirardelli was born in a middle-class home in the charming coastal town of Rapallo, Italy in the year 1817. His father worked as a spice trader in the bustling port city of Genoa, just a stone's throw away, so young Domenico's early years were filled with the fragrant aromas of exotic spices. Like in most Italian families, cooking was a shared passion in the Ghirardelli family, so young Domenico grew up immersed in the vibrant cuisine of coastal Italy. He often assisted his father, and these experiences set the stage for his culinary journey. As a teenager, Domenico's passion for food blossomed. He sought to explore the art of culinary craftsmanship. As a young boy, he apprenticed at a luxury chocolate store called Romanengo. Here, Domenico sold candies, chocolates, and a new form of chocolate paste that would melt into boiling water. As Domenico was honing his skills, diving deep into the world of confectionery, political violence was on the rise in the streets of Genoa. This era of uncertainty shifted Domenico's culinary and confectionery ambitions toward new horizons. There was peace and prosperity to be found elsewhere. At the age of 20, armed with his knowledge of the chocolate industry and a heart full of ambition, he and his newly wedded wife Elisabetta set out in search of new beginnings. Their destination? Uruguay, moving to South America. In the early 19th century, several South American countries were becoming hotspots for the chocolate and coffee trade. It was into this burgeoning trade that Domenico Ghirardelli entered upon his arrival in South America. However, his stay in Uruguay was brief. Within a year, he and his wife had relocated to Lima, Peru, where there was a large diaspora of Italian immigrants and a vibrant Latin culinary culture that appealed to Domenico's entrepreneurial ambitions. Within a year, Domenico established his own confectionery and chocolate shop right in the heart of Lima's central square. Outside this modest store, flocks of customers would wait every day to sample Domenico's Romanengo-style candies and chocolates. The shop's popularity grew with each satisfied customer, and Domenico, feeling a sense of belonging in the Lima community, changed his name to Domingo to show his gratitude to the local Spanish-speaking clientele. However, Domingo Ghirardelli's newfound sense of loyalty to Lima was soon to be tested by a neighboring businessman when James Lick, one of Ghirardelli's many clients and a prominent businessman in the city, purchased 600 pounds of Ghirardelli's chocolate. Instead of savoring all this delectable chocolate for himself, he took it with him on a business trip to California. Lick offered the chocolate to everyone he met on his trip, and as he anticipated, everyone loved Ghirardelli's chocolate. James Lick was the first man to realize the world-changing potential of Ghirardelli's creation. Upon his return from the US, he wasted no time in inspiring Ghirardelli to consider relocating to California, a land brimming with promise during the age of the gold rush. In 1849, James Lick's persistence finally bore fruit, and Domingo and Elisabetta Ghirardelli were tempted by the prospect of a fresh start in a new country. They followed Lick to California, eager to embark on a new adventure. Little did they know that this journey would ultimately help Domingo create a legacy that was as enduring as their shared passion for chocolate: San Francisco. In the year 1849, the world had its eyes set on San Francisco, a city that was on the brink of monumental change. The gold rush was in full swing, the promise of fortune was in the air, and over 300,000 eager miners had descended upon the city, all in search of treasures. But Ghirardelli brought a different kind of treasure to the city. He knew that the hungry and hopeful gold rush miners needed to be well fed, so he opened a small grocery shop in Stockton, California. He would market his self-made chocolate and sweets to the hungry miners at this shop and in neighboring shops. Needless to say, anyone and everyone who tried Ghirardelli's chocolates at these stores fell in love with the man's creations. Pretty soon, praises for his creations echoed through multiple cities in California. Demand for Ghirardelli's chocolates kept growing, and pretty soon, he had outgrown his original shop, so he opened a second store. This time in the heart of San Francisco on the bustling intersection of Broadway and Battery. This store's success was so remarkable that Ghirardelli swiftly earned the prestigious title of Money Man, a title that was reserved for San Francisco's top earners. However, destiny took a bitter turn when a series of devastating fires swept through the city in 1851. These fires brought widespread panic, loss of property, and rendered many homeless. The city's economy was hit bad, and all of Ghirardelli's beloved shops went underwater. Yet even in the face of such economic adversity, Ghirardelli, the new money man of San Francisco, refused to be defeated. He and many San Franciscans pledged to rebuild the city. This rebirth was set to be grander and sweeter than anyone could have imagined. Despite the devastating fires that destroyed his stores, Domenico Ghirardelli was not deterred. He bounced back, opening up a coffee shop in San Francisco just a few months after the fires. However, fate had bittersweet plans for Ghirardelli. The coffee shop wasn't financially viable, and it was closed only after months of its launch. Undeterred, Ghirardelli opened a new venture called Ghirardelli and Girard at the corner of Kearny and Washington in San Francisco. This company, founded in 1852, would go on to become the Ghirardelli brand that we know today. Within a year of its formation, Ghirardelli's new company was importing over 200 pounds of cocoa beans. Each year, this figure increased, and by 1865, Ghirardelli employees had accidentally discovered a groundbreaking chocolate-making process. By accident, they had left a sack of ground cacao beans hanging at a warm temperature in one of the company's storerooms. This caused the cocoa butter from the beans to drip out. When this butter residue was processed, a new chocolate flavor of unparalleled intensity was born. This extraordinary process was soon christened with a name: the Broma process. The Broma method of chocolate yields a richer, more intense chocolate taste compared to the confectioneries made using the traditional Dutch process. Ghirardelli had revolutionized the process of chocolate making forever, and the masses were in love with the new, ultra-flavored chocolates that the company was selling. So Ghirardelli, as usual, decided to expand his business. In 1871, he opened a new chocolate factory on North Point Street. This factory was the most technologically advanced chocolate factory in the world at the time. At this factory, Ghirardelli became an early adopter of cacao. Cacao is different from cocoa in both taste and health benefits. Cacao contains compounds that make it more bitter than its counterpart, but these healthy compounds can boost your immune system, brain, and heart health. Ghirardelli became one of the first chocolate brands to offer a variety of health-centric cacao-based dark chocolate options. In 1884, Ghirardelli's sons joined the business, making it a true family business. A decade later, in 1894, Domenico Ghirardelli passed away at the age of 77. However, his legacy and his beloved company lived on. The enduring legacy of Ghirardelli. Since the passing of its founder, Domenico Ghirardelli, in 1894, the Ghirardelli Chocolate Company has continued to build on his legacy. In 1939, Ghirardelli introduced its iconic Gold Rush packaging, which is still used today. Within this golden embrace, a wave of delectable chocolate-based creations was launched by the brand. In the 1950s, Ghirardelli introduced the classic Ghirardelli baking chips, the secret ingredient behind countless baked delights. The 60s brought a warm delight with Ghirardelli Instant Hot Cocoa, a comforting classic for multiple generations. In the 90s, it was all about topping your scoop with Ghirardelli's premium chocolate ice cream sauce, a chocolatey masterpiece in a bottle. The 80s saw the birth of Ghirardelli Chocolate Caramel Squares, a timeless indulgence that continues to tantalize taste buds to this day. Throughout this period, the company underwent major ownership changes, from the Ghirardelli family to Golden Grain Macaroni Group in 1963, then to the Quaker Oats for a brief period in the 90s, and finally into the expert hands of the Swiss Lindt and Springs Group in 1992. Under Lindt and Springs' strategic ownership, the company has reached peak production and sales figures. Today, Ghirardelli is a world-leading multi-million-dollar premium chocolate brand, and its products are enjoyed worldwide by people of all ages. Devotees of the brand visit the historic Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco every year. This iconic place began as Ghirardelli's first major factory in the 60s. Since then, it has been transformed into a stunning courtyard full of shops, restaurants, and official Ghirardelli stores. Each year, Ghirardelli Square hosts a chocolate festival where visitors can sample chocolate creations from 50+ different chocolate makers and vendors. The festival is a celebration of all things chocolate, and it's visited by 40,000 chocolate enthusiasts every year. It's the perfect tribute to Domingo Ghirardelli's undying legacy as one of the greatest chocolate makers of all time. That's all for today's video. We'd love to hear your opinion on Ghirardelli chocolates. Do you love them, or do you got other classic chocolate brands that you prefer and want us to cover? Comment your thoughts and hit the like and subscribe buttons. We'll see you in the next one.